Have you ever felt completely crushed by a tiny bit of criticism? Or maybe you spent hours and hours replaying something you said in a conversation, convinced you messed it all up? Well, if you've got ADHD, there's a really good chance you know exactly what I'm talking about. See, this isn't just about being too sensitive or being emotional. This is something called Rejection Sensitivity Dysphoria, or RSD for short. And this affects nearly everyone who has ADHD. So today I wanted to break it down, what it is, why it happens, and how we can manage it more effectively, especially when our emotions are out of control, how we can dial it back and handle it in real time. So let's get straight into it. What is rejection sensitive dysphoria? You see, rejection sensitive dysphoria, first of all, is an intense emotional reaction, and it's only a reaction to perceived or even actual rejection, criticism, or failure. The key word here though is perceived. So what I mean by that is without even experiencing the rejection, so without even someone saying no, we are actually perceiving it already as being a rejection by body language, facial expressions, or even just this little, I like to call spidey sense or ADHD sense that feels that rejection inbound. So sometimes the person, like I said, doesn't need to reject you. You just feel that rejection already. And before you know it, boom, we're spiraling, we're out of control, and we're actually very, very emotional. And this is a very common thing with ADHD, because I want you to understand our brains process emotions differently. So we struggle with that emotional regulation. So like I said, something small, very minuscule can actually derail and affect a whole day. It could be something like asking to borrow something or asking for a lift to somewhere, and this person might have a real reason to reject you, or a very valid reason to reject that request. But for some reason, our brains don't seem to understand that it's not an attack on us, it's actually just their life. And our brain finds it very hard to accept that and actually understand that. So our brain tends to personalize that and see it as an attack on us or even our character. So like I said, something small like a neutral comment or someone not even texting back quick enough can feel like a full-on emotional breakdown. And the thing is, it hits very hard and often sticks around way longer than we want it to. Why are ADHD brains so sensitive? You see, this is why it happens. ADHD brains are wired in a way that makes us feel emotions very deeply and also very differently, especially when it comes to social cues and approval. There's three big reasons why we struggle with this though. Number one being emotional regulation is tough. We struggle to manage those emotional responses. And if you want to think about this in a deeper level, that's just how we are with ADHD. Number two, we crave approval. So we have a lot of low dopamine, which makes us very much more likely to go seek validation or go seek approval from others to get that, dopamine. And number three, we actually do fear rejection. Straight up, it's a big fear of mine. It's a big fear of yours if you're watching this right now, because many of us have felt misunderstood or judged our whole lives. And this might explain why you're so terrified to ask your teacher a question, or why you would even avoid bringing up things with people that you're actually very close to. It runs so deep. And that's what people fail to realize, is that the rejection, we don't just feel it in here, we feel it in here, and in all of our body. That's how deep that rejection feels. It almost feels as if you spat us out. It's like you swallowed us and then spat us out onto the floor. When we are rejected with ADHD, that's exactly how it feels. And if I'm speaking from personal experience here, for me, it also feels like I'm very scared, like I'm actually very nervous to even ask a question to somebody, because I'm worried that it might offend them or I might come off in the wrong way, which is then going to cause me to feel rejected. And it's a big misunderstanding, something that I don't want to deal with. So oftentimes I'll find myself, not even going up and asking a question that I really want to ask someone, or I find myself not even engaging with somebody about a deep emotional thing because I'm worried that they won't handle it in the way that I want them to handle it. How does RSD show up in our daily lives? See, RSD isn't just emotional, it shapes behavior, and here are some common ways it shows up in our daily life. Number one, you avoid situations where rejection might happen. You skip job interviews, social events, or you even hold back ideas at times. So for example, say you're at a uni and you have a real good idea for the group assignment, you hold it back. You won't say it because of the fear of upsetting someone or stepping on toes or just ruining the group dynamic. And if you think about it, you often over apologize or you will people please to avoid that criticism. So you kind of hide your authentic self. You will self-sabotage after a small failure, telling yourself, I'm just not good enough. It's just not for me. It's just, I can't do this. And let's just be real. One little moment can really just ruin a whole day. It only takes one rejection for a whole day just to derail and just decline. So for many of us with ADHD, we've spent years trying to fit in. We've spent years trying to blend in. We've spent years and years and years trying to be accepted. And it's something I've learned. There's no point in trying to be accepted. And this is stemmed from high school for a lot of us, from primary school, that fear of not fitting in, that fear of being the odd sheep or the ugly duckling. It's that fear of that we are different and everyone can see it. And that's how it feels for so long in my life. Like I felt like everyone could see my weirdness, my difference, my almost like weird behavior, if you'd want to call it that. And obviously I'm speaking in a very negative way now about my ADHD, but you gotta remember I didn't know I had ADHD back then. So when I would think about myself, yeah, it was a lot of negative thoughts, it was a lot of negative emotions, it was a lot of me speaking bad on myself due to my RSD and due to my undiagnosed ADHD as well. So now I want to cover what we can actually do. What are the solutions? What can we put in place to stop us from derailing, to stop us having these emotional episodes? So I want you to think, when RSD hits, it can actually feel very impossible to think clearly. So I want to give you some ADHD friendly inputs, like I said before, that can actually help you use these tools and work with them in the moment. So number one is going to be, and again, let me get through this, okay, before you start commenting below. I've tried that, just let me talk. All right, number one is going to be acceptance. All right, because you've got to accept that you are emotional and you will have emotional roller coasters and storms. That's going to be a part of your life and you need to accept that, right? Because it can feel impossible to like think clearly if you don't accept the way you're feeling. And what I mean by that is if you're denying that you're emotional, if you're denying that you're upset, of course you're going to be acting irrational, of course you're going to be acting emotional. But if you actually accept that, you then learn how to embody it and how to calm yourself down. So like I always say, you need to let it pass, vent to a friend, go outside, distract yourself, something that's going to keep your brain moving and focused. And that's the thing with us. Sometimes we ruminate and we get stuck with these thoughts, this rejection, which leads us to a rumination, which if you want to check out my ADHD rumination video, I'll leave it linked here. But a lot of the time we will ruminate. So I want us to make sure that we're not doing that. Okay, we're going outside, we're distracting ourselves with just something very simple. Number two, change your body first. You can't think straight, don't try. Do something physical. And what I mean is that don't try to think yourself out of this thoughts. You need to shake your arms out, splash water on your face, go for a quick walk. Like I said before, we need to signal to your nervous system that it's time to shift. So if you find yourself ruminating, you find yourself worrying about rejection, that is when you need to shift that mindset. And you need to do that with something physical. So either move your body, wet your face, sing your favorite song, have fun. This is going to allow you to pass through this moment. Number three, you need to use a tiny reset. So don't aim to fix everything. I think that's a big problem with us, is we always are trying to fix everything. We're trying to have it now, and have it correct and right in this moment. And what I want you to do instead is I want you to just pick one thing, one small thing that feels good, a song, a stretch, a deep breath. And this is enough to shift that momentum and to ground you again. That's all we're trying to do here. We're trying to leave that nervous system, that crazy nervous system. We're trying to calm it down. We're trying to slow down, because a lot of the times ADHD, we're just going so rapid, like I know I sound crazy right now, but that is how we are. A lot of the times with ADHD, we're just so blah, 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 blah. Even now, like I'm trying to speed through this recording to get all this done, edited, and it's just like breathe, have a breath, take a moment, because this is enough to allow you to begin to shift from that horrible and nasty nervous system that we're trapped in. And then for me, this is number four, this really helps for me, and I want you to try it as well, is ground yourself in truth. One thing that really calms me down is anchoring myself in some truth and actually having something that I feel like I can lean on or use for support. And for me, that is God. And I don't really like to talk about God much on my channel because I don't want to preach, and that is not what my channel is about. It's about helping you with ADHD, but I found in following God and following Jesus Christ is really helped my ADHD. It's allowed me to calm down. It allows me to be in the present, and it also allows me to be in the moment a lot more. So a bit of scripture I would like to share with you in 2 Timothy. It says this: "For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power, love, and self-control." So I want you to remember that any times you're feeling alone, or you feel like you have no one to turn to, God is always there, Jesus is always there, and you can always talk to him. And for me, that just lets me know who I am. And I'm not trying to preach, I'm not trying to tell you that, you have to do this, but for me, that's what works, right? Grounding myself in truth, that allows me to rest and to heal. Number five, here's the truth. Everyone with ADHD at some point or another is going to experience an emotional episode. Something like RSD will happen. We have community here, guys, okay? You can come here, you can talk in my comment section, you can join my Discord, which I will link below, and we can build a community together. And that's what I want you guys to understand, is that it doesn't make you weak to have RSD. It doesn't make you weak to have ADHD. It just means that you feel deeply, and that can be a strength in its own right. You know, feeling and being empathetic can be a strength. So if this did resonate with you today, I'd love to hear your story down below. Leave a comment. Let me know how your RSD emotions, let me know how your emotions are. Let me know how RSD affects your life, and even let me know how your ADHD is affecting your life at the moment. Because I know a lot of us are struggling. You know, the world is in a very, very scary place. And I just want to speak upfront and honest that if you guys are here, that I'm always here to talk. I'm always here to chat. And I just want you guys to be upfront and honest in my comment section. Whatever you're struggling with, let me know, because a lot of people are struggling too. And if we can build a community that is always helping each other, that means that I don't even have to be the one to reply all the time. That means we can have people in the comment sections helping each other. And that's the type of community I want to build. And if you want real, more honest ADHD content like this, hit that subscribe button, because I drop videos weekly. Join my community, sign up for my newsletter. I'll leave it all linked below. Apart from that, guys, I hope you did enjoy. I just want you to remember this one thing before you go today. You are not broken. You are not overreacting. You're an ADHD brain living in a world that was not designed for you. But in this place, right here, right now, you're understood. I want you to stay strong, keep going, and I'm proud of you.